Welcome to the Apparition Paranormal Podcast on YouTube, Apple Podcast, Spotify, wherever you can listen to your favorite podcasts, we are there. Oh, feels good to finally be doing this.
Looking good too.
Oh yeah,
Got a nice backdrop.
we got a fog
going.
ambience.
We got the Apparition over here. We got Just Jekyll over here.
Oh yeah.
All right. Welcome to the Apparition Paranormal Podcast.
Say it one more time.
Welcome to the Apparition Paranormal Podcast.
Shoo. Keep it coming. I love it, man.
All right.
All right. Well, welcome to the Apparition Paranormal Podcast, as he said countless times. I love our name. I love it. I love it here. I love that we're live on YouTube for our first actual real deal episode.
Yeah, I love that we got the fog machine set up and didn't even touch the damn thing and just decides to just go off by itself.
Go off by itself.
And no cameras rolling, no live, nothing. Just, random ghost shit going on in the house.
Of course.
Of course.
Just before.
Yeah, like minutes before we went live.
Right. Well, I don't know. Let's start with I guess a little bit of an intro to what this podcast is going to be. All right?
What is it going to be?
So, basically
I don't know.
Paranormal podcast. Anything paranormal, conspiracy, and that's his big spot right there.
Yeah.
Conspiracy, anything that you can think of really in that realm is what this podcast is going to be about.
Aliens, ghosts, conspiracies. I mean, conspiracies is in the paranormal realm. It's a little off the beaten path, but it's definitely included.
Exactly. And then I'd like also to do a either bi-weekly or weekly upload of what would be an investigation type episode, kind of like what you would see on TV, but very low budget and like made from two scrubs from Western New York.
Like super low budget, like nothing.
Yeah, like our cameras cost like $200 each, right? We got like a $200 budget night vision camera, right? But we do have some very good equipment, I'd say. Like we have the same equipment that you would see on TV.
Yeah.
We have a lot of that same equipment.
The SLS, we got REM pods, EMF, all the standard.
Exactly. And I'm more excited for the SLS camera and to show people what that can do because, I mean, you've seen it on TV before, but it's not really one of their feature type things, and you can get such good evidence off of that.
You would think it would be used more
than what it is.
Or at least praised more.
Exactly. So for those that don't know what the SLS Connect camera is, it's basically, have you ever played like Xbox 360, like those motion games? It is the actual Connect camera off of the Xbox 360, and it's configured in such a way that it can map figures that are not really there.
Because it's programmed to search for you, so it knows whether, so you could play the game, and it just uses that system and reports anything that it sees. And when there's nothing in front of you, and there's a figure there, what else is that supposed to be? I don't know. I mean, especially when that's backed up by other evidence like EVPs or other pictures. And I've had a lot of experience with the SLS. I've had it for a couple of years now. And I've in this house alone, I've had many figures show up. And
well, basically, we're excited to bring this kind of technology to you guys and educate you guys, I guess, on the whole paranormal realm. With these weekly or bi-weekly investigation episodes, and show you guys that like there is stuff out there, and share our evidence with you guys, pretty much, right?
Well, yeah.
And I'd like to do this not only. Well, were you going to say something else?
Oh, I was going to say, and why would you be considered an authority on ghosts and spirits?
I can see the dead, spirits, ghosts, whatever you is your preference for their name. I can see them, and I can see them quite well.
And I can attest to that.
So can my buddy Andrew, who eventually will probably be on this podcast to attest to some of his paranormal stories with us.
He got possessed in one of my houses.
That will be part of the episode that has Andrew on it. Yes.
I hate using that word, to possess. You know, I mean, you've seen Zach Baggins get possessed so many times on Ghost Adventures, and I'm not saying it's fake. I mean, of course, Zach plays it up. We all play it up a little bit, but I've had it happen to myself, and I've seen it happen to people in my house, and it's no joke. It's not like it happens in the movies quite so much, but man, when it happens, it'll blow your wig off.
It's crazy, and it definitely was crazy when it's happened.
Just happened in this house not too long ago.
And that will be probably on the episode that we actually record tonight after we are done going live. We will be recording an investigation episode, which will hopefully be uploaded Monday or Tuesday. And hopefully we get some good evidence to bring to that episode. And if not, then it'll be just a 30-minute or so episode of absolutely nothing.
Or we're going to kick up a whole portal in the house, and then I'm not going to be able to sleep anymore.
And it will be an absolutely insane episode.
Yeah. That's what we need. Is there a full moon coming up?
We just passed one.
The full moons, whew, that shit's real.
Just passed a full moon, actually. So let's get into another place that I would like to investigate besides just our house. It'll probably be within the next 2 weeks or so. That'll probably be our second episode of our investigation. It is called the Red Coach Inn, and it's a local hot spot for paranormal activity. And for those of you that don't know, we are in the Western New York area, so Niagara Falls, Buffalo is our mainstay, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And this Red Coach Inn it's a haunted hotel, I believe built in the 1980s. I have a thing here that I want to read for you guys, and also to you, because this is kind of new for you.
Yeah, I'm surprised I haven't heard about the Red Coach Inn before.
I've studied this place for a little while now, and I've wanted to go there. And now that we're up and finally doing this podcast, I want to investigate. I want to bring it to us and to whatever audience we acquire, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me get reading this this passage here. Haunted hotel stay in a historic Niagara Falls inn. From the street, Red Coach Inn looks cute, quaint, and adorably cozy. Sky may be ominous blue-gray, but the 93-year-old English Tudor-style inn with a red-bricked first floor. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm going to look stupid. Whatever. Anyways, from the looks of it, you'd never guess.
What you're reading, so that's great.
Right?
What are you trying to read?
Black, red bricked first floor, black wrought iron gates. I've never even heard that word.
Wrought iron?
Wrought iron, like WROUGT iron. Wrought iron.
Wrought iron. You see it everywhere, trust me.
Yeah, I probably see it everywhere.
Yeah.
I've never had to read it before.
Bars on windows.
Listen, regardless, man, you never guess from looking at this place that a lady was brutally murdered on the 3rd floor. Right?
No, I probably wouldn't guess that. No.
No, I mean, actually, that it looks like a really nice place, actually.
It's like a really nice place.
Okay, let's try it. This is going to be really weird or whatever, but let's try
Look at this!
There's like a delay, so
That's as good as you're going to get for now, but...
Yeah, there's a delay, so give me a second here. I don't know if you guys can see that or not.
Can you tell we're new?
Yeah, I don't know how to do this. Come on, delay.
It's up there.
Bam, there it is.
See
okay.
that? Aww.
There you go. Anyways, Niagara Falls gained popularity as a honeymoon destination in the 1800s. Mostly upper class and famous folks would be visiting Niagara Falls, obviously, right? Andrew Morales, that is my boy. He is the one that will be
Thank you, my friend.
on this podcast. Said it looks beautiful. It does look beautiful, but you would never guess that somebody was brutally murdered there. Actually, it was marketed as the honeymoon capital of the world.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Oh, yeah. Niagara Falls used to be the honeymoon capital of the world. Now it's pretty beat down.
All right.
That's what happens when the mob leaves.
Let's get
I'm just
into
saying.
this. The story goes that a newlywed couple checked in around midnight on the first night of their honeymoon. They were given the Victoria Suite on the 3rd floor, a large multi-room suite with fantastic views. By morning, the bride was found bludgeoned to death on the master bed, her face crushed on one side, beaten in with a candlestick that her husband grabbed off the mantle.
I'm not even going to make the obvious joke.
A candlestick?
I'm not even going to go there.
Ever since the brutal murderer, staff and guests have reported seeing a woman wearing an old-fashioned laced white dress roaming the hotel. They've heard things they can't explain, seen things they can't believe, and most of them attribute to the apparition. What's up?
Man, what did you... Man, I knew it.
On an episode of Celebrity Ghost Stories, Barry Kopel, who starred in the Love Boat TV series, recounts once seeing a young woman wearing a wedding dress glide through the wall into the hallway. She stops, turns towards Earl and him, and you could see, he says, the face was not a whole face. The face was one that has been brutally mutilated. The whole face was caved in. He goes on to say that the woman then walked towards the two of them with a look of anger and accusation, as if they were to blame.
Why is it always in white? It's always got to be a woman with a white dress.
It was their honeymoon. She was there on her honeymoon. I don't know. Isn't that like the normal thing?
Days, yeah, I guess they would have had white dresses because I don't think there's any... Not many virgins getting married anymore these days.
No, not in today's generation. But
I mean, it's always, when you hear these stories of these women, it's always in a white dress for some reason. You see
you never really see a woman in like a black dress. I guess. Yeah, you're right. I can see that.
Whenever there's a woman on the side on the road, the ghost on the road, she's always in a white dress. I don't know. It's just weird.
Well, now that we're on the topic of this place, this is going to be our first investigation, not in this house. Like I said, tonight will be the investigation of this house. And this video will be probably put up Monday or Tuesday, depending on how quickly we can edit it and what evidence I guess we get. And like I said, it's going to be uploaded regardless if we get any good evidence or not. And then this house, what's today's date? 6th? 6th? All right, so within about 2 weeks or so, I want to get to this place right here, and I want to get the Victoria Suite.
Yeah, that's
and I want to check in at check-in time, which is 3 or 6 o'clock nowadays for hotels.
Yeah,
something like that. Check in, and
at like 11.
I want to do a podcast from inside.
Absolutely.
That room.
Yep.
And then right after we go off the air, full investigation mode, all night long, and set up. I mean, X cameras, anything we can think of. Bring the SLS, bring the spirit box, the REM pods, everything. Try to get any amount of evidence we can, and bring my still camera, and try to capture, pictures of some sort of apparition, hopefully of her. But from the sounds of it, she is a very active spirit.
One of my favorite techniques that I see being used is one investigator has the radio Hack Shack spirit box, and the other investigator has the headphones, and is blindfolded, doesn't know what the other investigator is asking, and you just say what you hear in the headphones. Okay, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you're saying like if I was to hold the spirit box, and you have headphones on, right? That way all you hear is of the spirit box. And I ask, what's your name? Or can you say one of our names? Something simple like that. And you hear a voice, you say it.
Yep.
I feel like that's something we could definitely do.
That is one of my favorite techniques that I don't think it's being utilized by Amy Bruni and them. Those guys are using it a lot. I don't know why more groups aren't using it, but it's definitely one that we're going to do.
I'm down with that. I feel like that would be an interesting way of sharing evidence. However,
live.
I feel, live, yes. Like you're talking about doing it on the podcast.
Yep.
All right. I could get with that. I'm just from maybe somebody who's a skeptic's standpoint. I feel like maybe they wouldn't believe that you're actually hearing that, which is the upside of actually playing the spirit box live.
Right.
That way the people watching the show can hear the actual channel sweeps.
Right. Yeah. And I don't know how we would do that. We could probably figure it out.
But at the same time, I get where you're coming from. That would be a really good way of, just a different way of utilizing that piece of technology. Anyways, so yes, this episode probably within the next 2 weeks or so. Like I said, tonight will be the investigation of this house. But let's get towards the actual reason behind this podcast and the the main topic, I guess you would say, right, of this podcast, which are going to be the Gowanda houses. And so you want to, let's start off with the one I was in from the youngest, the one right down the road from my other grandma's house.
Okay.
All right. From a very, very young age, me and my sister had rooms right next to each other and always saw shadow figures, heard noises, disembodied voices like crazy, right? And the most notable one I can remember is my sister calling me into her room. And this was long enough ago that you had those little box TVs, right? The actual box TVs.
Tube TVs.
Tube TVs.
Yeah, that's old farts.
And walk in her room and see a man shadow figure standing in the box TV. And it was the world's craziest thing we had to have been 7 and 8 years old. So young. And it scarred us. And I remember every time we would walk down the hallway to get to the stairs, to go downstairs, running like crazy because you could just feel that something else was there watching you or right behind you, right?
Oh, yeah.
And that's really the only, I guess, paranormal thing I can remember from that house at that age, right? And that was our first time living there. And fast forward 6 years or so, we moved back into that house, except in comes you. But I guess we can't really tell that part of the story without telling the part of the story with the other house.
Yeah.
They combine with each other so much.
He's going somewhere with it. Trust me.
So let's get into the second house, Gowanda House number 2. I guess you would call it. I don't know. Gowanda House number 2.
Gowanda number 2. Because it was dookie.
Grandmother and grandfather live in that house, right?
Yeah.
And my 12th birthday. So this is probably about 4 years after the original house, right? After we move out of it and stuff. 12th birthday. And a picture is taken of me at a table. And in that picture, and this picture will probably be in the episode that we record tonight. This picture will probably make it into that episode. So if you want to see that, just follow us and you'll see this next one. This picture is me sitting at a table with some sort of white mist figure with its arms around me, and you can visibly see 2 arms, a tail like a ghostly tail type, right? And going up into a neck, and it kind of fades into a head and disappears, right? But you can definitely tell it's something not of this world.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
And none of us knew that this was taken until after my grandmother got this picture developed. And when she got the picture back, my grandfather immediately called me over, asked me if I knew what this was. And no clue, right? No, well, this is your spirit, right? This is your what is it called? Your guardian angel. Yeah, I'm having a one moment. This is your guardian angel. Well, okay. What does it mean? Because at this time I have no clue. Yeah. I'm 12 years old. I don't know any of this.
Okay.
And he just starts explaining to me how I have a gift, and how he can see things and talk to people that are no longer with us. And he's just trying to explain it all to me. And me as a 12-year-old, I'm trying to wrap my head around it. And then I start putting more and more together. I'm seeing things at my dad's house. I'm, that I'm not realizing what it is until he's telling me all this stuff.
Right, okay.
And just from then on, he helped me, I guess, craft my ability into what it is now. And I mean, I can see spirits just like I see me and you, right?
Yeah.
And he was so good with it. I mean, it'd be a month I don't see him, right? I'd come back to the house. He'd be like, "So your grandmother told me you did this." I'm like, "What?
Yeah.
What? How did you know? I haven't seen you in a month. I did this 2 weeks ago, right?" So this picture, go on.
Well, no, it's just interesting that you had this gift that you didn't even know you had, but it took your grandfather to train you to see it, to recognize it, and to know what it is. And what I think is, as a society, as we get older, we're taught to believe that shit doesn't exist. Okay? Well, pause. All right. That we're taught that shit doesn't exist.
Yep.
And I think what your grandfather actually did was program you the right way and not let...
He helped me unlock it.
Right.
In a sense.
And I think we all have these abilities, and now this is where conspiracy crazy boy is going to come in. I don't care what anybody says. There's shit in the water, in everything we eat. DMT is naturally occurring in your brain and in foods that we eat. And so essentially, we are psychedelic tripping machines. We are supposed to be able to connect with whatever this other side is. And some people, like you, are able to somehow trigger that. And I don't know, that chemical just gets released or something, and you're able to just turn it on and off. It's crazy. It's amazing.
It's literally, we're going off topic from the story here,
Really.
but it's like, so they talk about the third eye, right?
Yeah. And
for me, I don't know if it's like that for everybody, but it's literally right here, and this is such a sensitive area for me. And I can literally just kind of like sit back and like meditate in a way, right? And I can open and shut that door in a way. You know what I mean?
I wish I could.
And it's like I said, it's the most like sensitive area of my body. Like anybody, I don't know, everybody has some sort of ability, whether you choose to believe it or not, or you choose to pursue to unlock that ability.
Yep.
But if you just go like that, like it is such a sensitive area for anybody. Like I said, I don't know if that's everybody's, like that's their spot where I guess it manifests. I don't know how to put it.
I suppose if you actually were exercising that muscle, whatever.
Time out. Can you fix that camera because you like kicked it or something?
I didn't kick nothing, man. We're on a delay, so you know how long it's gonna take.
No, there you go. Jesus Christ, kid.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go. Jesus.
Anyway, where were we?
So let's get back into the story. So
Yeah,
that photo that was taken of the figure around me is actually the reason that you came into my life,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So you tell your side of the story right there. Pick up where I left off.
I mean, I grew up in haunted houses all my life, and you know, I did some kind of my own little ghost hunting stuff on my own. I joined a group, and I met one of my best friends, Andrea, and she told me she had a friend that has this amazing picture, and you got to see it. And she shows me the picture, and I mean, as soon as I saw this, I'm like, whoever it is, I got to meet her. Her and her kids, I got to meet her. I got to meet her and her kids. I need to talk about this. And we met at a diner, and I mean, me and your mother just locked eyes, and that was the end of that.
Pretty much. She left the guy she was with, literally left the guy she was with, and and the rest is literally history.
I mean, it was like that. So it's actually the spirit realm that brought us together, as cheesy as that might sound. that's really that's really what happened. So we she
It wasn't long after that we moved back into the first Gowanda house.
right, we moved back into that other house on Jamestown Street. And
Insane.
holy shit, man.
That house is one of the most haunted,
It's been a long time.
demonic-ish houses
Yeah.
I can think of.
It's been a long time since I've thought about that house. I got possessed.
I drove
in
by
that
like a
house.
month ago, actually. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
I got possessed in that house. Your mom moved me in, and
Not long after, kicked you right the fuck back out.
within a week. Within a week, we were upstairs in that little attic room or
Yep.
whatever.
Yep.
And we had brought another a psychic medium friend of ours, and we were investigating. Oh my God! Wow, I remember all this now. So we were investigating, and we were getting pictures of this headless apparition. No pun intended.
Dope.
It was just a headless ghost, and I don't have the pictures. I have no idea what happened to it. Probably burned up with the other house. We'll get into that later. And it was kind of like an Amityville type thing where your mom was like obsessed with that house. Like that house just didn't want to let her go. And I came in and I was threatening. I mean, not literally threatening, but I was basically going to end up moving her out, and that's not what that house wanted. And I can't even remember what happened in my possession. All I know is I was an asshole. I did some shit. You might have to tell me what I did because I don't even remember what I did.
It was so long ago.
Yeah, it was like 11 years ago.
I only really remember like big bits and pieces that have happened there. Like I remember sitting down in the dining room area and doing the what is called like the flashlight trick in the ghost world, I guess. And doing that flashlight trick and asking enough questions to narrow it down that we were talking to mine and my sister's great grandmother.
Yeah.
And not long after we realized it was her and we were getting the direct answers from the flashlight trick, loud banging from the other room to the tune of a song that she used to sing.
That was on the china cabinet, wasn't
on her china cabinet.
Yeah.
Yes. Coming from the other room. And I don't mean like little knocks. I mean like loud,
No, this was loud.
bangs. Like it startled all of us, loud bangs.
Right. Yeah.
And it was just insane. And that's about all I really remember from there. Like I said, besides from really just being scared, nervous, whatever you want to call it, from just being in that house because you just felt a presence
Yeah.
in every single room, everywhere in that house.
It's crazy. When a possession happens, it's not like you could feel it coming on or in advance or anything. It's before you know it, some wacky shit's happening and before everything's just out of control and I mean, oh man.
I remember vividly also, and eventually my sister will probably be on this podcast. But I remember her and me being alone in that house as I believe mom. So the way it goes was there's our house here, a house in between us, and then my grandmother's house. And my mom would always take us over to our grandma's house and stuff while she went to work or that kind of stuff. And I remember she went over there for some reason and left me and my sister alone in the house. And we were upstairs and we heard some sort of noise. And I hope to God she remembers this. Heard some sort of noise. And we took off running down the stairs, out the door so fast and over there to our grandmother's house. What are you guys doing here? Blah, 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 right? I heard a noise, got scared. And on our walk back over to that house, and if you remember, you're looking at the house. Say you walk around the side of it, right? You look up. There's a window right there.
Yep.
At like the little the landing strip for the stairs, right? And then there's the hallway. And I remember walking back to the house, and there being a figure standing in the window. And like I said, this house, so many different figures, noises, and just the overall presence of something being there that obviously you are not wanted there, or there is something else that you know something else there.
Don't tell me I'm the only one here. We're
Okay, I don't know. They can't see that.
well, they don't need to see it necessarily. So I just ran and got the REM pod here. I'm gonna put it.
Zeroed out. Perfect.
Okay, because I'm telling you, this kid. I don't want to say he conjures stuff up, but man, it's something about when we get started, shit just starts to happen, and I am nowhere near as seasoned as Dalton is in this whole empath and being able to communicate or anything, but I do have a little bit of empathic ability, so I do recognize the signs sometimes. And just as we're telling this story, I just got chills up my back, and I just had to run and get these devices here because I got the feeling what would be better on our live show if can you hear that? If that goes off?
I don't know. I can't tell. Make it go off really quick. Yeah, you can hear it. Barely, but you can hear it.
Why is it going off right now then?
So this device is a REM pod, and it is sitting currently directly in between me and Jesse.
Is it supposed to do that?
And none of us are touching
I'm not
it.
touching it at all.
Is that like a low battery thing? Because it's right there. It's none of these. You know what I mean?
It does this. It does this in this house all the time.
That can't be a low battery thing.
I've had new batteries in it. All right, keep talking. Let's see what happens.
I don't know. Anyway, so like I said, the Gowanda House, right? We saw that figure in the window there as we're going back to the house, and I'm pretty sure that is what ran us out of the house pretty much that night. And then from there, like I said, that's about all I can remember from that house, really. And you want to remember how you got kicked out and all that stuff, just being possessed pretty much in that house.
I don't remember the possession from that house. I know that it happened, and I know that whatever it was jumped me and just made me rage. I don't even know about what. Enough for your mom to kick me out and break up with me. Like, we were broken up. She had left her fiance for me. And within a week, I became, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, all of a sudden. And that's really all I remember. I mean, maybe the more you talk, maybe I can tell you more that I remember about that house, but...
Right. Well, that's about it, right? And then shortly after you left, it wasn't 2 weeks, we just totally left that house.
Yeah.
And into the house that burnt down, right?
Yeah.
The other Gowanda House. We went, and you and Mom got back together. And that house is just a whole nother story from there. Let's fast forward, I guess, to... That thing just keeps beeping. Fast forward to my grandfather passing away, right? And upstairs in the attic, other bedroom type thing, right?
Yep, keep going.
Sitting there with the intentions of talking to my grandfather, right? That just recently passed away. Sitting there, and all of a sudden my back gets really cold. And I literally say, and we got to find this EVP if it's still out there somewhere. Like I said, this current house that we're talking about burnt down, but we have to have this EVP somewhere.
Possibility I might have it on a computer. I might. I don't know.
So my back gets really cold, and I literally go, Do me a favor.
D-
Tilt the
Right?
camera down a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah.
Tilt it down.
Bro.
Tilt it down. Hold on. Let me go to OBS. All right. Move that back here with this. Just sit down. Just sit down.
Okay. I just want to make sure that I'm not setting it off.
Oh, it's doing stuff by itself.
Yo.
Okay. So as you can see, that is lighting up. So I'm pretty sure what those mean, right? That is the direction of the disturbance, right?
Yeah, it is.
And it's coming from both directions of us. As you guys can see, it's going off right now.
So this is how it goes with us, by the way.
Jesse, why don't you talk a little bit about these devices? Oh my God.
This is crazy. I've never seen that act.
And
up
as
so
you can
much.
see, it's not really us. It's not us making it go
It's
off.
not us at
Jesse
all.
literally just pointed at it. It's not going off.
yeah.
No, okay, now it is because
You
I'm
did
touching
that.
it. But literally,
I'm
we
not touching anything. You will see. I will not have anything near here. No, nothing. Come on, man. All right. See?
Okay, so talk a little bit about
All
these
right.
devices really quick. That way people know.
I think the devices are kind of explaining it themselves right now. So you got the REM pod here. It's got the antenna, and this puts out. Can you stop, please? Hey. Excuse me. Hang on.
This is insane.
All right. Can you please stop? Can I? I need to talk.
I remember why I don't mess with these that much. That's so annoying.
Yeah, I know. All right. Back away, please. I'm gonna just.
Dude, it is staying on. When before it was just beep, 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 beep.
So anyway, the antenna. I'm gonna try to talk over this thing now. The antenna creates a field around it, and if anything, it detects temperature changes. It detects anything that comes in the vicinity of this. Like, watch. Now what? That noise, I believe, is a temperature change. I believe that's why that's doing that. And
Which is another sign of something being around, right? So a lot of times associated with spirits, you'll be like, "Oh my God, it's really cold in here now," right?
yeah,
Dude,
and
that
I told
is
you I had the
insane.
chills this whole time. More, we're talking about the Gowanda House. Oh,
Yeah, I'm getting the chills now too. This is crazy, dude.
okay. I'm just gonna throw it out there. If this is Brian,
I already knew it.
make that stop.
I already knew that's where you were gonna go with this.
Brian, either make it stop or
Or-
touch that antenna and make those lights light up.
Or you can touch that's a puck, right? I can't
Yes.
remember that. Yeah, I can't remember the name of that. That was something you bought.
It's a periscope.
Periscope.
360 periscope.
Yeah, that
Alright.
was something you bought.
Should I reset it?
Yeah, maybe. Dude, that is insane. Because literally, when we first set this thing up, it was not doing this.
No.
It was go beep 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 beep, and then it would stop, and then it beep 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 beep. Dude, that is a great. Reset it. Reset it.
Okay.
All right, do it again now. So now it's set at that thing
Okay.
or whatever. So now they have to change it again in order for it to go off again. Otherwise, we're gonna look real stupid.
You guys are just looking at some dead battery ass shit.
No, yeah. See, it's not dead
These
battery.
batteries are new. These batteries are new. It's not a technical problem. Anyway, so the Gowanda House.
The Gowanda House. Shit, where the fuck were
Um,
we? Okay. Telling the story about my grandfather's EVP. So sitting upstairs in one of the spare rooms, and this was shortly after he died. And with the intentions of trying to talk to him, we were up there with an EVP recorder. And for those of you that don't know what an EVP recorder is, electric voice phenomena, literally that right there. Yes, right. So sitting there, and my back gets really cold. And I believe my exact words were something along the lines of, it's getting really cold in here. Who's in here with me? And then on the playback of the EVP, you just hear, Dalton, it's me, Grandpa Brian. And I mean, crystal clear. class A plus 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 EVP. His exact voice. It was insane.
It was literally his voice. And I mean, it was Dalton. It's Grandpa Brian, just like that.
Insane. Right? Hold on. I always want to do this.
Not to
I
be
love
cheesy
it.
or anything.
No, I love this. I love this little device right here. So that was that. And I mean, on top of that, the countless pictures that we've taken. There's a portal.
There was a portal in that house.
Right at the end of the hallway, looking up, there was a portal there. The countless photos of shadow figures, orbs with faces, like literal faces that you could make out. My great grandma Homan, so many different faces and stuff that it's beeping again.
Faces, EVPs that would blow your fucking wig off, man. We had so many. I mean, we had the whole spectrum. I mean, we heard from my dad. We heard from his grandfather, grandmother. I mean, grandparents. Two straight up demonic shit.
Yep.
Like, I mean, it just sending chills down my spine now. Just remembering some of the radio voices and the accuracy of what we were asking and how it would respond. It was pretty menacing.
That
at times.
Let's get into your father.
Yeah.
And all of the evidence that we gathered with that.
Yeah.
And that would be so. Okay, so for those watching on the live stream, you can literally see that beeping, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys can hear it that well, picking up through our mics or whatever, but you can see that thing beeping. The more and more we talk about these houses and these people that we've communicated with.
All right, so here's the story. Story goes, of course, I was very close with my father. He was diagnosed with stage 3, stage 4 lung cancer, and ended up dying.
Andrew can hear and see it. All right, perfect.
So he was a musician, and we loved Little River Band, Steely Dan, all the classic rock shit.
Reeling in the years.
Yeah. So, we would always sing together and everything, and my dad would do, I call them, the finger drums, shit like that. If you know Reeling in the Years by Steely Dan, it's got this cool riff, and so, okay, the reason I bring it up, we were all upstairs, sitting on the floor, a wood floor, with his grandmother directly downstairs in her bed, and talking to my dad. And it started out as just
eek,
1 tap for yes, 2 for no, and it was as clear as that. And the reason I bring up the Steely Dan thing is
I wish that thing had a volume.
There's a riff, and I would start it, and he would end up finishing the riff, knocking on the floor. And I had all these kids. I made them take their hands up and make sure nobody was just,
Actually, Andrew, comment really quick. Weren't you there for that? I think Andrew was there for a lot of this. Andrew, if you were there for that, comment really quick, just so we know. I'm pretty sure you were there for this type of stuff.
Yeah, Andrew was there. I know he was. I remember. So,
yes, I was.
That's right. There you go. So, and we even went downstairs to talk to his grandmother.
Okay, that's weird. It's still lit up and it stopped beeping. That's weird.
So, we went to go talk to his grandmother and asked if she could hear. How was it?
I said creepy.
Oh. She could hear the knocking on the ceiling, and she's all of like 5'4".
Not reaching the ceiling.
It's not happening, and like I said, I had them take their hands up because I thought maybe they're just doing it, to try to make me feel better, to make me not. I mean, I guess that would be kind of shitty if you were making me think I was
Right.
talking to my dead dad, but it would have meant a lot to me. But nobody was touching nothing, and it was. I had a hour and a half long conversation with my dead father in that house just by tapping on the floor.
And this type of thing happens so much with us.
More than you would think it would.
Okay, that is
Like, it's happening right now, okay? Do you understand? Like, it's happening right in front of you. I'm not doing shit.
I'm happy you thought enough to go out there and grab something.
Something told me to go out and get it.
That is crazy because it literally was just going off, right? And then it stopped, but it's still lit up.
Yeah.
It's supposed to beep when it's lit up. It literally stopped beeping. Like, what?
All right.
And I've noticed this stopped going off. So they
and now it stopped
and now
again.
it stopped again. So they might find that a little bit easier to manipulate as far as temperature change and stuff.
Right.
But like, okay, just saying
This
that.
thing
Th-
never
this,
goes
this
off
is
by itself. That
yeah.
one?
Yeah. Well,
No, it doesn't go off by itself.
oh,
Yeah. It takes a lot to get that to do anything.
I'm literally touching it right now. Nothing's making it go off. Okay, and then this is different. This goes off when something goes around it. So like if you're not really around it, you won't make this thing go off. Okay, so like we stop.
All right. Now I'm going to put out a challenge. Enough with the temperature change stuff. Let's do something real here. If you're going to try to communicate while we're doing a podcast, trying to interrupt, you got to at least give us one of those.
Give us something, and we'll continue our story as we're doing
We're
this.
just going to keep talking.
So besides that, really, I guess with the whole tapping and stuff like that, what else did we really encounter there? I mean, so much that I can remember, but like it's all like a lot of the same kind of stuff. Voices in that hallway.
Yeah.
Still pictures down the hallway and catching orbs with faces.
Orbs everywhere.
I mean, it was it's so many orbs, literally in every single photo that I remember taking. An orb, at least one,
I remember.
up to 20 all in one, and a lot of them had faces, like actual faces. The nose,
inside
like
the orb.
straight detailed faces inside of an orb,
Yeah.
which is crazy. So much stuff happened in that house.
I remember, like almost daily, your grandfather, Brian, would be having conversations with, people that weren't really, well, I don't want to say they weren't really there, but
Yep.
having conversations. And
Yep.
I mean, the information is dead on, and the stuff he would say and who he was talking about, and he passed it on to you very successfully, I might add, and I got possessed for a second time in that house.
Yes.
If you remember.
Yep.
And that was quite terrifying to me. So basically what happened, I don't know if we pissed somebody off or if it was a vengeful someone that we won't mention, because I took on, so we were upstairs, and from what your mom told me, my eye color changed and my voice changed, and I called your mom a name, and not a bad name. I think it was Melly or something, and I started singing a song to her for no reason. As she's trying to figure out what I'm saying, I'm singing this song that I don't even know that this person we're talking about used to sing to her, and well, let's just say it wasn't a good person. So
Yeah.
what I ended up doing, and this is fucked up that I'm going to even admit it, but I mean, it wasn't me. I ended up apparently, and I say apparently because I was told about it afterwards, I had gone downstairs. I had grabbed a bottle full of pills. They were spread all over the house. and I was nowhere to be found. It took me out of the damn house and took me in town. And I came back a couple hours later, and it was like a reset, because when I came home, it was like, where have you been? I'm like, what do you mean?
Right.
Like, what do you mean, where have I been?
Right, like a total blackout,
Like,
didn't know. And that's the thing with a lot of like possession type things or whatever. A lot of people don't remember anything about it.
I have no idea what
It's like 1 minute you're doing something and then you black out for a certain amount of time, and that period is just gone. Like it's just nothing for you, because you're like, well, 1 second ago I was just doing this. Like, why am I here? Type thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's as simple as I fell asleep for a couple seconds. You nod off to sleep for a couple seconds, and you wake up and you think nothing happened. Well, a whole lot of shit happened in a couple seconds, and you weren't in control of your own body, and you didn't do anything consciously. But
right.
See, yeah. Oh God, Andrew, you remember? I bet you do.
Yes, Andrew. Actually, hold on, Andrew. Hey, listen. Answer your phone, my guy.
Yeah, man.
Answer your phone, Andrew.
So this guy we got calling in, this was my first introduction to a possession. I actually witnessed
Answer your phone.
Get possessed in my house.
Answer your phone, my guy.
A call has been forwarded to
What?
You forwarded our phone call? Come on, man.
Andrew. My guy. What?
Come on, man.
Come on, dude. Oh, okay. Continue talking about it.
All right. Well, now the other one we're talking about with Andrew getting possessed, that was in North Tonawanda. That had nothing to do with the Gowanda houses.
No, but Andrew was there for like all of this, right?
But that's the thing. Like, yeah, whoops.
Yeah, whoops.
Whoops.
There we go. We got him.
Hey, there he is.
Andrew, what's up, my guy? Hello?
What's going up?
You hear us?
Hello?
Hey.
All right. Hello, my guy.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, my guy.
Yeah, I can hear you
You can
guys.
hear me now.
Oh my God. All right. Anyways, so Andrew, the guy we have on the phone right now, he was there for all of this. He's my childhood best friend, my family member. He's my brother, right? He's been there for everything that's ever happened from, the second Gowanda House. He wasn't there for the first one. From the second Gowanda House, one that burnt down to now. I mean, the North Tonawanda House, dude, that thing keeps on going on and off. It's crazy. The more and more we talk about this, so that thing just keeps on beeping. But he was there for all of this, right? And he himself, like he's just said in the comments, he himself was possessed in the North Tonawanda House. And that one was one of the craziest ones that I remember seeing. And he had like superhuman strength. I remember trying to hold him down.
So, well, we got you on the phone, Andrew. Do you remember? Do you remember that day and what happened?
Yeah. I remember it started off. I as pretty much I remember me and Dalton were with, I think it's Pete or something like that.
Yeah, it was
Pete. Yes. Yep, Pete.
And we had to ride back. Well, Dalton and Pete rode back to
Yeah,
the
you
house
had to.
on bike.
We forced you to run.
And I was, I'm not gonna lie, at the time I was like plastered both like I was like drunk and high at the same time. So I was like running down the street. But like at the time when it actually happened, I was like drunk. I was like completely drunk. But I don't remember a whole lot of anything that happened.
You don't
but all I
remember,
remember is when I came to, I was like sad. I was really sad, and I was completely sober again.
Yeah.
Yep.
You were writhing around on the floor. I mean, we had to hold your ass down. You had so much venom and anger and whatever was going on. I mean, you were everything short of foaming at the mouth. Like it was pretty damn terrifying.
And I remember you vividly turning and looking at me and telling me exactly who you were. And I want to know if you remember who you told me that you were. Did you remember anything about that?
I don't remember a lot. All I know is that like when I came to and I can actually remember what was going on, I was like I said, I was very sad. I was kind of like sad and like my emotions were kind of like my body was tense. I could feel like my muscle tenseness was just like I felt like I was trying to lift something. Like that's how tense they were.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And like when I came to, I was just like I didn't want to get up for a while because my body was so drained. I felt
Sure.
like I had just went on a marathon.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
I was
and
so
a lot
like
of
I was
people.
tense. I was drained. My emotions were all over the place.
Yep.
Right, and a lot of people that report, like full body possession stuff like that, that all of them say the same thing. After it's done, they're completely drained. They don't remember a lot.
Yeah.
It takes a lot out of you because whatever is possessing you is using your energy. It's using everything in your body to manifest itself in the way that it wants to.
And in Andrew's case, whatever this was angry. Just angry.
Very, very angry. I remember that vividly.
I
And
remember
Andrew,
that.
you will be on this podcast again when we talk about the NT house on Bryant Street, because that would be a whole nother 30-minute talk about stuff that's happened in that house.
And I mean, it all happened within the span of like, I don't know, 30 minutes. 45
What
minutes or
we're
so.
talking about right now?
Yeah.
Here? Yeah.
Andrew's possession.
Yes, Andrew's possession. But
It wasn't
there's other stuff that's happened in that house too.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, the actual event itself probably was about a half hour, 45 minutes. I don't even remember how we brought him out of it. Did you bring him out of it?
I can't remember. I remember. So when he turned and looked at me,
You remember Andrew? No, of course you don't.
When he turned and looked at me, I remember he told me.
All I remember is I just woke up and I felt like I actually woke up. Like I was like, like asleep at that moment in time.
Yeah.
And then I kind of like got up and I was just like, what the hell's going on? Why am I on the ground? Like I remember when I started, I was on a couch up against one of the walls near the door.
Yep.
And when I woke up, when I kind of came to,
You were
I was
on the
like,
floor
on
with
the
your head near
ground,
the
like,
kitchen.
spread out with my head like sideways. I was like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah. I remember vividly him turning, because I was holding on one of his arms up by his head, turned, looked at me, and told me that he was Adam. And that would be part of the story that we tell when we talk about the NT house. But without getting into it too much, Adam was just a very, very bad man that my mother was married to when I was very young, very abusive towards me, my mother, and my sister. And long story short, he ended up killing himself. And he's no longer with us. And I'm probably going to sound like a dick, but thank God he's no longer with us. Fuck that guy.
Very evil person.
And I remember the part of the reason why Andrew felt sad is because when he turned and told me that he was Adam, he apologized over and over again. But I can't for the life of me imagine Adam actually apologizing. Maybe I don't know, but his actions while he was alive was completely uncalled for, and it was just he's just not a very good person.
I never met this dude, but in my head, I pictured that he would have done that to fuck with you, to make you think.
Right, and see the thing. Well, Andrew was possessed, and we still have him on the line, right? Yeah. When he was possessed, he was in and out of literally the standard, like what you would think an evil laugh by somebody that's possessed is.
Oh, God,
literally that laugh.
Yep.
Oh
God, yeah.
And then the strength, and no offense to Andrew, but you're not the strongest person in the world. Like none of us are, right? But like
No.
it took literally like 5 of us to hold you down.
Yeah, no joke. It did.
I believe it was me, you, Jess, my mother, my sister, and I think Tyler was there. I cannot remember. I think one other person was there. If not, then it was just the 4 of us holding you down.
Yeah, Pete wasn't
No,
there.
Pete was
He
not
would
there.
have freaked the fuck out.
I mean, it was literally all of us forcibly holding this kid down.
Yeah.
Right? Because he was just going insane. And I've
5
never
people to hold down a 14-year-old.
Yeah, we were young. Let's put that out there too. We didn't talk about that. We were like in 10th grade.
Yeah.
We were so little. We were young, man. And for a grown man, a grown woman, and another 14, 15-year-old, and then my sister, a year younger than us, whatever, to hold down this kid, like, what?
Like with force. With
Like-
force, like having to like actually like wrangle motherfucker down.
Straight insane strength out of nowhere, and I've never seen something like this ever. So this was our first, and to my knowledge, that I can remember, at least my only like actual like real violent possession that I remember being a part of.
Well, I mean, that first. Well, I'd say the second possession that I talked about was him.
Oh yes, yeah, at the house.
Yeah.
Yes, but see, I was even younger at that point. I don't remember a whole lot of that. I remember this kind of stuff happening or whatever.
Right.
But like I was still so young at that point. I don't remember a whole lot of what happened, and it was so long ago. Like you said, like,
No.
11 years ago.
Yeah. Now, Andrew, since
Yes.
that event, have you had anything like that happen since then?
Since then, I want to say there's been a couple instances, but like nothing like that.
Nothing like that.
There's been a couple instances where I've like blacked out mentally, like I don't think physically I got the strength. I think Dalton might recall there was one time on the school bus ride home from Bosie's, I believe it was,
Yes, sir.
where I remember talking to him about, like, I got really like super pissed. Like I felt like I was so angry over nothing, like really over nothing. I mean, like I just got so upset.
Right, and if you remember, Andrew, in high school, dude, there was even just like an aura around our buddy Logan, and the spirit that followed him, and that would be something too, dude. It'd be great if we could get Logan on this and have him talk. He hit me up not too long ago. Said that he was in town. I don't know if he's still in town. He's in the Army now, but that would be something too. Try to get Logan on this podcast because so much stuff has happened over the course of you know, the last 12 years or so.
I don't mean to interrupt. This thing was just beeping to the beat of our intro music. I'm just saying.
Eek.
I just noticed.
And Andrew, well, we got you on here really quick. Let's get into just verification wise or whatever. You were there when I made Mr. Well, let's not talk. I don't know if I've said his name. If I have, I'm sorry, but I don't really want to say his name. When we made our social studies in 10th grade, our social studies teacher cry. You were there. You were there.
Yeah.
And that was absolutely insane, and just another way of validating that like everything I can do is like super real. Literally just telling our 10th grade teacher what his grandma looks like, and stuff he says to his kid before a baseball game that nobody should know because he always says it in private. And to this day, still, every time he sees me or my little brothers, my father, or something like that, he brings it up and asks how I am and stuff, right? And I just wanted to put that out there because Andrew was there for that. So for those that don't believe me, I have proof. I mean, even if by some miracle I can get that teacher on here, that'd be great. Andrew, I want to ask you because I know for sure. I just want to know if you remember. Can you silence that thing? What was
Silence, I said.
what can you remember as like me and you being friends, right? Our first paranormal experience together. Do you remember what this was?
There's a couple. I can't.
I'll give you a hint. It was in your room when you when you lived in the back room with that bay window.
Is this the one with the? Is this the one with the knife? If I'm not
Yes,
mistaken?
sir. Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes. All right. Do
I
you remember
that.
Do you remember how that all happened?
I don't remember like 100% how it all started, but I remember that like you were laying on the ground, I believe.
Yep.
I was in my bed,
Mm-hmm.
and then
So okay, so
We
to
were,
paint
like,
a picture,
trying
to paint a picture really quick, there's a dresser and then me on the floor and then Andrew's bed. So like it's like a Oreo cookie or something. I don't know how to put it. You know what I mean?
Slow down there, buddy. I don't know if you want to put it that way.
But like bam bam bam, right?
He was in the middle between the dresser and the bed, though.
Yes.
Oof, sounds like
I
a
was
good
laying on
time.
the floor, right? And
And
okay,
then,
Andrew, to continue.
Yeah, and then there's like a little box, like a little I don't know what to call it. The best thing I can compare it to is like a loot box. Like it just it kind of has like a little hatch that opens up on top of it.
Yep.
Right in front of his head. So like he's on the ground, it's on the ground on top above his head. And I had this like it wasn't like an official knife. It was like something I think that my grandpa gave to me or something like that, or my dad, one of the two people. And it was on top of this box.
Right.
Now, and then behind that is the window that looks out into our backyard. So, I can't remember exactly how it went down, but I remember we were talking about something. And I guess whatever we were talking about,
It was we were talking about this was probably about 2 or 3 months or so after my great grandmother passed away. We were talking about her.
yeah. And then as we were talking, I just happened to notice and look down, and I hear it. I can physically hear it too.
Yep, we
like
could
just a
literally
little
hear
wobble.
the knife literally wiggling towards the edge of this box. Literally hear it start to. I don't know. I can't replicate the noise or whatever, but you can literally hear it start wiggling, right, and shuffling. Continue.
And then all of a sudden, it just like, it just kind of it just fell off. Like it fell off towards Dalton, and I told him like, you got to move.
Literally, like as it's teeter-tottering on the edge, he's like, "Dude, you got to move." I'm like, "Well," he's like, "Knife." I turn, look up, or whatever, as
granted,
he's pointing at it.
It wasn't a sharp knife. Like it was dull. It was pretty dull.
But it's still
But it's just
a
the
knife.
fact
It's an
that-
object, right? And
It wasn't.
this
Well, it
thing-
wasn't sharp. It just,
It was.
So
It was like an old like carving knife or something like that. It was something along that. I guess is how I would put to
Okay, so
best describe the kind of knife it was.
About? Like 6 inches. Like what?
It was probably like a 3-inch knife, Andrew, 3 or 4 inch. It was a smaller one.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to say probably the actual handle was probably around like 2.5, 3 inches, and the blade was around that too. So
Yeah. It was still a knife, but it was a
You
little
guys
dull.
are just sitting there, and this thing just starts.
But
Yep.
yeah, it was a girthy knife though. Like it was.
The handle was
pretty
pretty thick.
girthy.
Pretty thick,
what
boy.
she said.
Thick boy.
That's
Thick
what
boy.
she said.
Anyways, another thing that Andrew at your house that's happened. That's going off back there.
Oh shit! Hi. Is it?
Is that you?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that one is.
All right. Well, don't lean, man.
Man.
All right. Well, another thing
Now
that
bring this over here.
another thing
So I
that
can't
has happened at Andrew's childhood house. Remember, so he lives on top of this hill, right, with this big back field you can see all the way back into, right? And we see wildlife and stuff all the time back there. Do you remember seeing all the figures and the shadows back there? And I can't remember what you told me it was. It was like supposed to be Indians or something, right? Like that was an old like Indian ground or something.
They're in the backyard of my old house, obviously, because I don't live there anymore. But my grandpa, I was talking to him one day about it and about like what this land used to be, and it used to actually in the backyard was an Indian burial ground.
Wow.
Right. Yes. That's what it was.
And this, I want to say we saw this around, like, it was later at night. It was like maybe like 1, 2, 12, somewhere between there.
Yep, it was pretty late at night, pitch black outside.
But it was so vivid though. Like,
yes,
I remember
you
just
could
looking
literally
out
see
that
the
window.
complete outline of these people in his backyard.
Yes.
And your parents still live there, so maybe, I don't know, maybe road trip, go get Andrew for a weekend and bring him down here and do a weekend of ghost hunting, Andrew. Hint, hint, my guy.
Yeah, we can try it out sometime.
I guess something
Don't be
together.
so enthusiastic.
Yeah, right.
man.
Oh,
Wow.
I don't want to come back to New York. I don't want to do this.
I don't blame you. I wouldn't. I don't want to come back to New York, and I live here.
Yeah, we're stuck, man. That's so cheesy, man.
Nah,
But,
keep
uh,
it going,
cheesy,
man.
my guy.
No.
Yeah. But like, there's a lot of like, even just like when I was going out there and doing mowing and stuff like that, I was just riding a lawnmower, doing what I do. Like
You feel that
always,
presence.
every time, and I don't know, Dalton, you might be able to back me up this on any time we ever walked out there, but you always felt this presence of being watched
All the time.
every time you were
Yeah.
out there. It doesn't matter what time of day it was. Like if it was nighttime, daytime, like mid-afternoon.
Now,
doesn't
now
matter.
it wasn't
You were
like
out
it
there.
wasn't like a devilish or like demonic-ish type feeling when you walked back
No,
there, but
it
you
wasn't.
definitely felt like the feeling you get, like, oh my God, I must look over my shoulder. There's got to be something there, kind of feeling.
Yep.
That's what it was, right?
Yeah, it wasn't like, it was just like an ominous kind of like,
Yeah.
you feel that feeling that somebody's just like looking over your shoulder kind of feeling, or it was like you could just be like staring off into the distance and you feel like you're constantly being watched, like everything that you're doing.
Oh, I know that feeling well.
Absolutely.
I get that every day, but I mean, when it's different when it's spirits. But
But hey, Andrew, we gotta let you go here, my guy. We're running out of time, but there will definitely be maybe even next Friday's podcast. Maybe we'll bring you on for something. And then the Friday after that will probably be the live podcast inside the Red Coach Inn that was previously mentioned earlier.
yeah.
So all right, Andrew, thank you for joining us. For now, my guy, and you'll definitely be back on here again. So I'll talk to you probably after actually we stop going live here. All right, my man.
All right.
All right, man. Thanks.
Thanks a lot, Andrew.
All right. Thanks. I'll see you guys later.
The applause was so cheesy.
I know.
man.
I had to.
So cheesy.
I had
Stop
to.
leaning. You're making that go off.
Yeah,
for some
man.
reason.
Shit, man.
I thought you said there was no way they'd make that go off.
It never did.
Yeah, but when you lean or whatever.
What? I don't got no steel plate in my elbow.
Oh.
Come on.
See? You're
What's
making it
doing
go
it?
off. You're making it go off. Oh, it never goes off by itself.
It doesn't. Well, because I don't fuck with it either. I don't usually have it this close.
Anyways,
It's
we
usually
went
like-
so off topic there. But it was nice to get Andrew on the podcast and talk a little bit to
Yeah,
him
that was cool.
about everything. Just he was there for so much of this.
Yeah.
So much of it. Anyways, guys, that's about all the time we got for today's podcast, and we will be live again next Friday at 8:00. Today's Saturday. We went live yesterday, but we had some trouble with the audio. That beeped again.
Yeah.
We had some trouble with
Don't
the
start
audio.
now, man.
So we deleted that video and figured we'd come live with the correct kind of audio, and just an overall better kind of show.
Yeah, it was pretty bad that first show.
Yeah, it was pretty bad, and we didn't realize until after we were done, and we're like, our audio did not go through or something,
But now we kind of sound professional.
sort of.
Do you mind? All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Anyways, guys, thank you for joining us. That's all the time we got in today's podcast. Catch us next Friday live back on YouTube. Listen to our podcast anywhere you listen to your favorite podcast, Apple, Spotify, anywhere, right?
I'm going to say it.
What do you guys
Hit that like button.
Yeah, hit the like
Subscribe.
button, subscribe,
Put your push notifications on so you know when we're coming on. I don't
share
gotta remind everybody.
share this. Stay tuned for Monday or Tuesday for us uploading the investigation video vlog style type thing, right? And we'll see you guys
See what
live,
happens with this. We're gonna find out on Monday what this is leading to.
right? We'll see you guys live next Friday at 8:00 Eastern time. Thank you all for joining us.
Whoop, whoop.
Have a good night.